first, Alex Little, former assistant U.S. attorney and current criminal defense attorney. Good to see you.
Good afternoon.
On the fairness matter, how are the optics here?
Well, you know, there's a question when you have lots and lots of money and you give millions of dollars to a university, maybe they name a building after you, you better believe they're going to let your kids into school. These folks were rich. They spent $15,000 and in some cases $200,000 to bribe folks. They're getting charged with felonies. That may not sit right with a lot of people, but I think the folks who really look at this are the folks whose kids didn't get into school, who don't have the money to even, bribe somebody. And I think all of it just smacks at the unfairness of what the sort of admissions process looks like right now.
It does feel like those who did the right thing early, in other words, came clean early, are getting one kind of treatment, and those who were fighting may be getting another.
Yeah, and that's what you see in the federal criminal justice system. If you come in early, you admit guilt, you work with the government, you're much more likely to get a lenient sentence or no jail time. I don't think Felicity Huffman's going to get any jail time at all. I think most observers who work in this area closely would believe that's the case. She's likely going to get probation. But the folks who hang on, try to fight this, maybe go to trial, it's much more likely they end up behind bars.
There are these questions about whether they realized, that, it's one thing to give that library money. It's another thing to change SAT scores. How could you not know what you're doing is wrong?
Yeah, it's clearly wrong. And I think the question is, we make a lot of things that are wrong criminal. Some things that are wrong aren't criminal. And I think none of these parents are proud of what they did. But does it really deserve, FBI agents, criminal prosecution of this sort, time in federal court? I think that's a really hard decision to make. I was a federal prosecutor. This is not a case I would have been really excited about bringing.
And if there's a plea agreement, say Felicity Huffman, the prosecution recommends that she gets 4 months in prison, does the judge normally, as a matter of course, go along with such a recommendation, or is it more gray than that?
Not in the era of federal sentencing now. Those are basically recommendations. The federal judge has the ultimate discretion in almost every case to sentence a defendant as he or she sees fit. This judge, I think, given her history with sentencing, is very likely to give probation to at least Ms. Huffman and particularly Mr. Sloan as well.
Based on what we've seen so far in this scandal, is the message that's coming from these proceedings one that's helpful and informative?
I think the message is that there's a lot of stuff going on at institutions, both of higher learning and in businesses, that are really improper. And I think the FBI wants us to play by the rules. This is clearly a case where they're upset that parents were not playing by the rules. And you look at also the NCAA, recruiting scandal. This is also stuff that some people knew was going on and had gone on for a long time. And all of a sudden the FBI has decided we're going to make this criminal. We're going to take it to court.
Yeah, it was a very poorly kept secret. Alex Little live with us. Alex, as always, appreciate it.